My husband promised we'd save for our first home. I worked double shifts, cut every expense, and sold my jewelry to reach our goal. Then I found out he gave $40,000 to his sister so she could start her dream spa. I walked into the spa and found it empty except for a blow-up pool, a foldable chair, and a handwritten sign that said no refunds. When I confronted her, she said, "He's my brother. He owes me that." I turned around, and my husband was already getting in her car. "My name's Sarah. I'm 31 years old, and I live, or I guess used to live, in Killeen, Texas. I met Derek at a barbecue a few years back. He wasn't some bad boy or some charmer. He was just a normal guy. Funny, tall, easy to talk to. He worked at an auto body shop. I was a nurse at the hospital. We didn't have some big whirlwind love story. We got along. We made each other laugh. That was enough for me. When we got married, we agreed on something important. We weren't going to live paycheck to paycheck. We were going to build something together. We agreed. No new cars, no vacations, no big purchases. We were going to save and get a small house. Something with a backyard for the dog we wanted. That was the plan. So I went all in. I started picking up double shifts whenever I could. I brought my lunch to work every day. I canceled my gym membership and started running outside. I even sold my grandma's jewelry when it got tight. Her wedding band, her locket. I cried after I sold them, but I told myself Grandma would understand. Every month, I watched our joint account grow. It wasn't easy, but it felt good to watch that number climb. $5,000, $10,000, $25,000. By February this year, we were sitting at almost $46,000. I thought we were closer than ever. Then, about a month ago, I woke up early on a Saturday. Derek had already left. He said he was craving pancakes and was going to grab some. I made coffee and, without even thinking about it, opened our banking app. It felt like getting punched in the stomach. Balance, $4,800. I sat there staring at it. I refreshed the page. Maybe it was a glitch. Maybe the bank screwed up. Nope. I dug through the transaction history, my hands shaking so bad I could barely hold the phone. There it was, a transfer of $40,000. Sent to a personal checking account in the name of Monica Stevens, Derek's sister. Let me tell you about Monica. Monica is 34. She's never had a real job. She's never stayed in the same apartment more than a year. Every few months, she's got a new big idea. Selling homemade candles, dog grooming, personal trainer, tarot reader. She'll start something, blow through money, then quit when it doesn't magically work out. And Derek? Derek has always made excuses for her. She's just finding her path. She's not like you, Sarah. She's sensitive. She just needs a little help. I always bit my tongue. I thought, she's his sister. It's not my place to say too much. I just figured he'd never be dumb enough to really enable her. I was wrong. I called Derek. He answered on the third ring, sounding half asleep. "Hey, babe," he said, like nothing was wrong. I went straight to it. "Where's the money, Derek?" There was a long pause. Then, I loaned it to Monica. She's starting her spa business. I didn't even know what to say. I just kept hearing loaned and spa, and it didn't make sense. "What spa?" I demanded. He got defensive fast. "It's her dream, Sarah. She's serious this time. She's getting her life together." I said I wanted to see it. He told me I was being negative and unsupportive. I didn't care. I was seeing it. 2 days later, after work, I drove across town to the address he gave me. It was sketchy as hell. Not a cute shopping plaza. Not a wellness center. It was a half-empty strip mall. Half the stores were boarded up. The ones that were open were a vape shop, a pawn shop, and a payday loan place. I parked in front of a door with peeling paint. The sign taped to the window just said Monica's Spa in crooked Sharpa letters. I walked in. I can still see it. A blow-up kiddie pool filled with maybe 4 inches of water. A single camping chair next to it. A handwritten paper taped to the wall, "No refunds." That was it. That was the spa. Monica was sitting on the floor, leaning against the wall, scrolling on her phone. She didn't even get up when I came in. She just glanced up at me, smirked, and said, "Hey." I asked her where the spa was. She pointed around the sad, empty room. "You're looking at it," she said, with a smirk. I felt something inside me snap. I asked her how she could take $40,000 for this. She shrugged. "He's my brother. He owes me that." I just stood there, stunned. I asked her when she planned on paying us back. She laughed. Actually laughed. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement outside. I turned around and saw Derek getting into Monica's old beat-up Honda Civic, tossing a backpack into the back seat. He didn't even look toward the window. He didn't even notice me standing there. They drove off. I just stood there, frozen, in that sad excuse of a spa, with the stink of old carpet and dirty water around me. And in that moment, I knew. It wasn't just about the money. It wasn't just about the house. Derek chose her. Over me. Over us. I don't even remember getting back to my car. I sat in the driver's seat, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. My heart was hammering in my chest. I felt like a damn fool. I drove straight home. Derek wasn't there. His keys were gone. His sneakers were gone. His side of the closet looked half empty. It hit me then. He hadn't just loaned Monica the money. He was leaving with her. The next few days were a blur. I called him. He didn't answer. I texted him. Nothing. I called Monica. Straight to voicemail. Finally, I got a text from Derek. "I need time to think. Don't make this harder." That was it. No apology. No explanation. Nothing. I tore the apartment apart looking for any clue what was going on. That's when I found it. Hidden in the drawer of his nightstand, a printed copy of a lease agreement. Monica had signed a lease on a small house across town, and Derek was listed as her roommate. I went crazy for a minute. I called his parents. I called her old friends. Nobody knew where they were. Finally, I went to Monica's spa again. It was closed. The windows were covered in black trash bags. The "No Refunds" sign was still hanging there, but everything else inside was gone. I felt this deep, burning anger rise up. They stole from me. They wasted all my hard work. And they thought they could just drive away like I was trash. No, they weren't getting away with it. I hired a lawyer. It cost me almost every dime I had left. But I didn't care. I had the paperwork. Joint account. Unauthorized withdrawal. I had proof that the money wasn't a gift. It was part of a mutual plan to buy a house. We filed a civil lawsuit against Derek and Monica. Word got out fast. Colleen isn't a big place. Once people started whispering about the spa scam, things got ugly for Monica. Apparently, she had convinced a few other people to invest small amounts too, promising them VIP spa memberships. Nobody had seen a real spa open. Now they were pissed. Meanwhile, Derek finally tried to reach out. He sent me a long email, full of excuses. He said he felt trapped by our life plan. He said he didn't want to be ordinary. He said Monica made him realize he deserved more. He tried to blame me for being too focused on money and the future. I almost threw up reading it. This man, who let me work double shifts, who let me sell my dead grandma's jewelry, was now acting like I was the villain. And it got worse. Through a friend of a friend, I heard Monica had told people she and Derek were going to start a chain of spas. That the blow-up pool was just the beta version to test the market. It was laughable. And it made me even angrier. The court date was set for 3 months out. In the meantime, I decided to get my own revenge. Real, slow, painful revenge. I wasn't going to scream. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to destroy them the way they deserved, publicly. First thing I did? I made a detailed, public post on a local Facebook group, the one everyone in town follows for news and events. I didn't call them out by name. I just told the full story, how a local spa scammed people. How someone raised $40,000 from hardworking family and friends. How the spa turned out to be a blow-up kiddie pool and a chair. How the owners disappeared after taking the money. I included pictures. The folding chair. The kiddie pool. The handwritten "no refunds" sign. The post exploded. Comments flooded in. Hundreds of them. People were tagging their friends, asking if it was Monica. Some said they knew someone who had invested a few $100s too. It didn't take long before someone connected the dots and said it outright. Isn't this Monica Stevens' spa? Someone else posted a photo of Monica at a 4th of July party 2 years ago. It went viral locally. I didn't stop there. I found out Monica had set up a GoFundMe for her business a few months back. She had raised another $7,000 from strangers, claiming she was opening a luxury wellness center. I gathered screenshots, sent them to GoFundMe support, reported it as fraud. 3 days later, the page was shut down. Meanwhile, Derek and Monica tried to lay low. They moved into the small rental house from the lease I found. But bad news travels fast in a small town. The owner of the house they were renting saw the Facebook post, recognized them. He gave them 30 days to get out or face eviction for damaging his property. They'd ripped up carpet and painted ugly fake beach murals inside without permission. Around the same time, Monica tried to open a new spa on Instagram. New name, new branding, Serenity Wellness Lounge. But people from Colleen flooded the comments with laughing emojis, warnings, and links to my post. She deleted the page within 48 hours. Derek tried to save face. He messaged me again. You're ruining our lives. Why can't you just move on? Move on? After he let me bleed myself dry for years while he secretly plotted with his sister? No. I wasn't done yet. Then came the biggest twist. One of Derek's old coworkers messaged me on Facebook. He said Derek had borrowed $10,000 from the shop owner where he worked, claiming it was for a down payment on our house. The coworker gave it to him because he thought Derek was a good guy. Guess what? That $10,000 was gone too. Used for Monica's spa. The coworker was furious. He said he was going to sue Derek himself. I connected him with my lawyer. Now Derek was looking at not just one lawsuit, but 2. Then I got an anonymous tip through Facebook Messenger. A woman I didn't know sent me a message. Hey, just wanted you to know, Monica's not just his sister. You should check court records. My stomach dropped. I didn't know what she meant. But I decided to find out. I went down to the county clerk's office and pulled public records. And that's when I found it. 2 years ago, Monica had been arrested under a different last name. Not just for small stuff. Fraud, forgery. And Derek? He had bailed her out. $15,000 bond. He didn't just help his sister. He had been covering for her for years. He knew she was a scammer. He knew she was a liar. And he still gave her our future. I sat in my car with the court papers in my lap, realizing something even worse. Maybe Derek wasn't just tricked by Monica. Maybe he was just like her. Maybe he had been using me this whole time, too. Once I saw those court papers, I knew there was no saving anything. Derek wasn't just a fool. He was a con, same as Monica. And I had been too trusting. Too naive. That was my mistake. I wasn't about to sit around and cry anymore. The court date finally came. I showed up in a simple black dress. No makeup. No fancy jewelry. I wanted the judge to see me, tired, serious, broken, but still standing. Derek and Monica showed up together. They looked awful. Derek had grown a scruffy beard. His suit didn't fit right. Monica looked pale, jittery, her hair a mess. I almost laughed when I saw them. They didn't look like masterminds. They looked like what they were, pathetic thieves. The hearing was brutal. My lawyer laid everything out. bank records, GoFundMe screenshots, lease agreements, Monica's fraud record, testimony from Derek's coworker. Monica tried to argue that the $40,000 was a gift. The judge wasn't having it. He asked Monica what she spent the money on. She mumbled something about equipment and marketing. My lawyer pulled out the pictures of the blow-up pool and folding chair. Everyone in the courtroom saw them. The judge looked Monica dead in the eyes and said, "Where's the spa?" Monica burst into tears. Derek tried to speak up for her, but he just made it worse. He admitted under oath that he took the money without my knowledge. Admitted that he knew Monica had a criminal record when he handed it over. The judge slammed the gavel down. Ruled in my favor. Full repayment. Plus damages. Total $65,000. Of course, they didn't have the money. But it didn't matter. The judge placed a lien on any future earnings they had. Garnished Derek's wages. Seized Monica's car. They were stuck. For years. And the best part? Right after the hearing, the auto shop Derek used to work at posted on Facebook, "We don't support fraud. Derek Stevens is no longer employed here." Fired. Publicly humiliated. Monica? Word spread fast. Nobody in Killeen would rent to her. She ended up moving back into her mother's trailer 2 towns over. And me? I broke my lease, packed my car, and moved to Austin. Started fresh. Got a tiny studio apartment. Adopted a scruffy little dog from the shelter. Named him Chance. I'm not rich. I'm not over it. But I'm rebuilding. One step at a time. Sometimes late at night, I still get angry. At them. At myself. At all the years I wasted. But then Chance jumps on my lap and licks my face, and I remind myself, I survived. They lost everything, and they'll be paying me back, paycheck by paycheck, for a long, long time.